So today I'm talking about a 2011 to 2014 Honda Civic dashboard lights and what they mean and should you take it to a mechanic or not. And so this includes the warning lights, the maintenance lights, and all the lights that might appear on the dashboard. And so the first one's going to be the charging system light. It's a little battery icon. And when this comes up, the onboard computer is not seeing the alternator putting out any power to charge the battery. And so very likely if the car is still running, you're running off the battery, which won't last very long. So you will need to take this to a mechanic to get checked out. And the next one's going to be the low brake fluid light. And when this comes on, you just want to go check your brake fluid. It'll be inside the engine compartment. Just get the correct DOT type brake fluid and add it into it. It's at the correct level with the little markers. And most car owners can do this themselves. If the light doesn't go off and the brake fluid is correct, then you will need to take it to a mechanic to get checked out. And the next one's the ABS, anti-lock braking system. And this can come on, but if it stays on all the time, you will need to get it to get checked out. So if you get this light and it stays on all the time, you will need to get checked out by a mechanic. The DRL light stands for daytime running lights. And what this is when you're just driving down the road, you don't have the headlights on or nothing. It's just the regular lights that come on during normal driving. And so it's possible one of the headlights is bad. So you can go out there and check and see if these lights are on. Be sure to check after you put the car into drive and then go back into park, because these lights come on automatically when you go into drive. And the next one's going to be the malfunction indicator lamp, which is a little engine on there. And this could be many things. It could be something just minor, or it could be something serious. This is a very general code that there's something wrong inside the engine. So you will need to take it to a mechanic to get checked out, since there's so many things that it could be. But there's basically some kind of problem with the engine. And the EPS light is for electric power steering. And if this goes out, you will need to go get it checked out by a mechanic to see what the issue is. And you might have some difficulty steering. It'll just vary depending on what the problem is. But if you get this light, then you will need to get it checked out. The low oil pressure light can be dangerous because any low oil pressure in the engine can cause damage. So you'll definitely need to get it checked out by a mechanic to find out why. You can go out there and check the oil level and be sure that it's correct. And you can also check to see how dirty the engine oil is, since that can also cause problems. But if this light stays on, you definitely want to get it checked out by a mechanic. And the TPMS light comes on when there's low air pressure in one of the tires. And it could come on in two different ways. It could come on with this symbol, or it could come up and say TPMS. So if you get this, the first thing to do is to go around and check every tire with the tire gauge and be sure they're at the correct pressure. If one or two is low, then add air to the tire till it's at the right pressure, and this light should go off. If this light doesn't go off and all the tires are at the right pressure, then very likely there's a failed sensor, because there's sensors on every single tire to see what the pressure is, and very likely one of these failed or something along these lines. So if all the tires have the correct PSI and this light stays on, then you will need to take it to a mechanic to get checked out. And the VSA light is for vehicle stability assist, and this light can come on when there's hazardous driving, such as raining or something like this, or hazardous road conditions, but it shouldn't stay on all the time. If it stays on all the time, then you'll want to take it to a mechanic to get checked out. This just indicates that the passenger airbag's been turned off. Cruise main is when the cruise control has been activated and it's not set yet. It's just inside the mode where you can set it. So when you see this on the screen, you can start to set what the cruise control should be at. Cruise control on means that it is set. So you've gone through the steps to set it at a certain speed, and now it's on and it's activated. This is the fog lights on indicator, park and headlights indicator. This is the high beam indicator. This is the immobilizer light, and this comes on if the vehicle doesn't think the right key is being used. So sometimes keys can become damaged or something like this. So if this happens, you have to call a mechanic or a locksmith that can reprogram the key. This is the rev limit indicator, which basically means the vehicle's being revved up too high. This is the side airbag's been turned off. This is simply the turn signals or the hazards have been turned on. This is the vertical stability light. If it blinks, it means it's on. And if it stays on all the time, then it means it's been turned off. This means the parking brake is on. It just needs to be released. This means the trunk or the door is open. If you close all the doors and this light stays on, then very likely there's a bad switch, sensor, or bad wiring somewhere. So if it stays on like that, then you will need to get it checked out by a mechanic. This indicates that there's low fuel, so there's only like 2 or 3 gallons left in the tank. So you need to get gas right away or you're going to run out. This is the maintenance minder symbol, and it's just a reminder to take your vehicle in to get checked out, all the fluids, tires rotated, or whatever needs to be done, since those things need to be done after so many miles. This is just a reminder to fasten your seatbelt.